Blessings and welcome back forward right here to Reasonings at the Tree of Life, yeah? We're at the Edna College and we're in Kingston, Jamaica, you know what I mean? It's a beautiful mix of elements today. We got the earth, we got the air, we got the water. Yeah, and I'm sure we got a little bit of sunshine somewhere out there also in the weather flow as well too, right? It's been an awesome day. It's been a good shift as we're going into a summer now, right? So it's really kind of, it's like a nice in-between energy, right? Almost harmonious one. My offering today is on a topic that somebody within our group asked me to talk about. Now I had passed through some references to this particular individual before, but it's been a part of the calling where I guess if you're on the spiritual road, especially if you look at it in terms of the Christ order, the follower of Christ, or even in Christian terms, this name would come up. And also in the Rastafari tradition, this name has come up several times. So someone asked me to talk about this individual. Fact is, there is not much information on the individual, and when I went and did a research again, I realized that what I had inside my head was practically what was the research. But yes, it's poignant enough that we can talk about it. And we're going to talk about Melchizedek, right? So one of the things that comes to mind after we hear the name Melchizedek is the order of Melchizedek, which is said to be a rights unto the high priest, right? Or the high priest of the Most High God, of which Christ was said to be a high priest of that order. There's said to be a few individuals on the planet who are high priests after the order of Melchizedek. So who is this Melchizedek? Well, the first time it really appears in terms of biblical context, I think it's in Genesis, right? I think it's Genesis 14. And I think it's probably Genesis 14 somewhere, but it's that verse, somewhere in that chapter, Genesis 14. You know, I'm never yet one that's specific on, because I like to read the whole thing, right? So it's Genesis 14, I think it first appears. I'm almost sure it first appears. And the story recounts the battle of the kings that Abraham went through. I think the battle of the kings involved at the time warring factions, probably about 10 kings, you know. On one side was the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah and Zohor and a couple of other kings against the kings of the lower plains within the lands that they lived, right? So Genesis recounts the story very well. So for those who are more biblical minded, we can actually go on, and as I say, in Genesis. Also appears in Hebrew and I think in Psalms as well. So there are a couple of places in the Bible where information about Melchizedek appears, but Genesis being the first, as I said. And it was said that after this particular battle, the king of Sodom took Lot captive, and Lot is the nephew of Abraham, right? So the king of Sodom took Lot captive, and Abraham was to mount an army of Israel to go and defend, and rather I would say liberate, ameliorate, and free Lot from the captivity of the king of Sodom, which was already in collusion with the king of Gomorrah, king of Zohor, and a couple others. I think there was 5 or 6 of them who were in collusion. Long and short of it is Abraham went on and was victorious in the battle and was able to defeat the king of Sodom, brought him down to his knees as a matter of fact, and got him to release Lot from his captive, right? And it goes on to where Abraham made a very, what I call it now, he took the spoils. You know, the Bible talk about the spoils of war. He took the spoils. But there was a strong mention that the Bible comes that he took nothing from the king of Sodom. And it is said that he says that as much as the story will be retold, it should be told that he never took anything for the record from the king of Sodom, but from the spoils of battle. So here we get to the actual point of the meeting with Melchizedek. Because after coming back from this battle, it is said that Abraham was met along the way by the king of Salem, Melchizedek, which is a high priest unto the order of the Most High, without beginning of days, without end of days, without mother or father. And the king of Salem blessed Abraham for having a fortuitous victory in the name of the Lord, delivering his seed or his family from the grips of the king of Sodom and the world of you know what, right? And so essentially the word shows us that Abraham blessed the king of Salem with a tenth of the spoils. So the story goes, Who is this man that Abraham should bless him with a tenth of the spoils after just coming from a victorious battle? Such was the blessing given to Abraham from Melchizedek, the king of Salem, that it was recounted that he is a priest of the Most High, even more holier than the Leviathan priesthood, of which to this day, as the biblical scholars and as the biblical story recounts, that it is a conflict, and it has remained a conflict, that the Leviathans are said of the priesthood or of the house of Levi is said to be the priest that administer unto the house of Israel. But here it is that Christ was likened unto Melchizedek, an order of the high priest of the Most High God, without beginning, without end, without mother, without father. So here it is postulated, it is even asserted that the order of Melchizedek is a far more sacred order, as one being established by the Most High God, given unto the rarest of souls. So is it to suggest that Melchizedek likened unto Enoch becoming Metatron in heaven? Is it the same story of a human being so devout in their nature as to transform mundane human life into highly spirited and spiritual existence, glorifying the Most High Creator in all that they are, in all that He is, in all that we can possibly be? Is it that the order of Melchizedek, is it that Melchizedek is the only being that is this order, that is recounted, he is recalled rather as being a man without beginning, without end, likened unto the very essence of what Christ is unto us? Because Christ said, yet before the world was I am. So he was there in the beginning of time, before the beginning of time. So in suggestion, it seems that Melchizedek, certainly in personality, certainly in spirit, was there before the beginning of time. And as such, the ushering unto his priesthood is what has kept a royal and divine order above all that man has created. Because as the word said, man has created a priesthood to serve unto itself. But what about the priesthood that the Most High God has created to serve unto his own will? So the order of Melchizedek is the order of divine healing, hallelujah, carried through by the powers of the Most High God, that is still being manifest today in this earth, right? And that sacred order unto the order which Christ comes, unto the order which several of the teachers of the Most High God has come unto us, as recounted unto us as the order of Melchizedek, a way of life, a divine priesthood, sacred unto itself, a royal diadem. So for all who find themselves under the order of Melchizedek, following the principles of the ancient high priests of old, that still is going through time and time immemorial, I say blessings unto your sacred order, offering healing, truth, and a divine balm, likened unto the balm in Gilead, a healing balm, the great physician, the great high priest that purifies, that sanctifies in the Holy Spirit, that his blessing unto Abraham, coming from the battle of the kings, garnered him a tenth of the spoils. Who is this man, Melchizedek? What is the order of Melchizedek? That man should be brought to their knees under its holy orbits and its holy edicts. That the man without beginning of days or end of days, without mother or father, continues to do the work of the Most High God, continuing to show light, truth unto the past, likened unto Methuselah, wisest of the old age. Melchizedek continues in the order of the Most High God, carrying forward the word of truth. So I hope my word of offering has spurred you to look up the essence, the energy, the spirit that is foretold, that is of renown in the presence of Melchizedek and the order of Melchizedek. Blessings and honor. Just reminding you always that you're a gift unto yourself and a gift unto your living cosmos. Continue to expand in your knowledge and your awareness of yourself. Blessings and love. Divinely. Yes, yes. Yes. Yes, because remember, you know, what I have gleaned is that there are many men who are likened unto the spirit of Melchizedek, that Christ himself was likened unto an high priest under the order of Melchizedek. So it is directly a divine order, obviously created by the Most High God. And my spirit have naturally inclined to feel that Haile Selassie is definitely a priest under the order of Melchizedek. It's obvious because there are several stirrings within Ethiopia, and this is outside of Rastafari, let me just say, which has alluded to that within His Majesty, reading from the Holies of Holies, or quoting rather from the Holies of Holies, which suggests that it is only the high priests which are at privy who are sequestered rather, who view the Ark of the Covenant and view the sacred writings. So His Majesty quoting from the sacred writings and recounting in his biography that it was a dove of the Most High God that came to him and told him these revelations. So I would suggest by the word, whether some accept it or not, I could agree fully that Haile Selassie is off and in the order or after the order of Melchizedek. He's unto the order, or from the order of Melchizedek. It is language, the semantics, however you see it, because they are holy high priests brought forward unto the divine order. And this is something where the celestial realms, the cosmic, is far different from the earthly realms and terra firma, because true human is divisive. Control and separatism and separation is part of our thing, right? So remember the word said, that there are priests which have been elected by men to be priests over themselves, right? But there's a priest elected by God to be priest over men in the order of the Most High God, which is Melchizedek, which is the order of Melchizedek. So one can understand that there are lots of organizations, groupings, who would not want to acknowledge Haile Selassie as such. And as sometimes when I even offer these offerings here on our channel, I see that sometimes there's this rejection. But I understand how power structures are, even in the individual context. How humans feel that they're upholding something that is right and just and should be morally defended. In some parts of the earth, it leads individuals to kill individuals for religious and spiritual differences. And I keep coming back to the point like a broken record of what the word said, that there are men who have elected themselves priests and a priesthood over themselves, right? And is governing and is offering word and is offering unto themselves. But what of the order that is offered by the Most High God? What of this sacred priesthood, this royal diadem that is for the healing of the soul, for the sacred within us? That is something we should never ever forget. And I think it's so poignant now that as we're talking, the rains are coming down, but there's something so harmonious still. And as I said, today is a balance of the elements, so the soul is quantified quite well. Haile Selassie fulfills a lot of what an high priest fulfills, a defender of our faith, saving us from teetering off into oblivion and into the necromancing and all of the dark forces of the current age, or even onto the New Age philosophies. Now we have a rooting in Christ, in the true conscription and revelation of Christ, that He is the Lamb, slain, revealed, renewed, conquering lion, the Lamb and the lion. It's a unity of principle. The order of Melchizedek, sacred high priest unto the end of days, and to days immemorial, from time immemorial and to days innumerable. Continue to search and seek for your information to advance your own spiritual growth and your own spiritual journeys. And then information will be liberated in you. And then you too can be unto me and to all of us that true guiding principle and a guiding star, bringing forward that knowledge for the soul, that food that we need for our awakening. Because remember, what was hidden from the wise and the also prudent was revealed to the babes and the sucklings amongst us. Blessings and honor continue to be the awesome gift you are to yourself and to your environment, and always looking forward to sharing more of that blessing.